and naturally in groups of 2, 4, 6, 8 or 12, 16, yes, see. 2, 4, 8 or 16. How's it, guys? Johan Vester here. Welcome back to the channel and to this very special moment that I'm going to share with you. But first, let me point this out. Just so you don't wonder, I actually was involved in a road rage incident, and the guy in the red car, yeah, he didn't make it. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that kind of a person. So what I really want to share with you today is a very special moment that I had last night. Yeah, as you gathered maybe from the title of the video, I went to see Sting perform live. And it's something that I have never done. I've never seen him perform live. I've been a fan of his music from the time when it was the Police. And then there was a short period where I think they called it Sting and the Police, and then, you know, the band I think dismantled and it was just Sting. But I've just always loved the music, and I've tried to work out why. You know, like I always say, when you want to judge a piece of music, when you want to say whether it's good or not good or whatever, you have to have reasons. You have to have facts and statements that make sense. You can't just say, that's really good, but you don't know why. If you want to study these kinds of things, you know, and understand and enjoy music more, you need these principles that you need to understand and you need to then apply when you analyze. So last night, as I sat in that arena here in Pretoria in South Africa, and I saw this man perform, I was so overwhelmed. There were so many moments where I was overwhelmed, and I'll talk about it just quickly, you know, as I share some clips with you that I just filmed with my phone, so you will understand the quality of the visual. It's just a phone in the dark. But I wanted to talk about what makes a living legend in music, a singer-songwriter like him. What makes someone like Sting, in my eyes, and I believe the eyes of many millions of fans around the world, a living legend? How can somebody be in the entertainment industry, solo career mostly, for so long and still do it so well at the age of 71? I thought, as we walked in last night, I said to my friend, I think he's probably like in his mid-60s now. And then I Googled it and I found out he is 71 years old, born in October of 1951. That's insane. But anyway, I'm just going to share short clips with you that I took with my phone. So I started with that SOS song, and I sort of kind of miss it because I had to run out quickly to the loo. DMI, but yeah, it's a reality. And when I came back, the song was playing, so I just waited out of the way of other viewers until the applause came. And then this was the second song that he played.
Make a
Yeah, so cool. So that was the second song, and everybody went ballistic, of course, when he started. That very charismatic. That very characteristic, very familiar, very strong sort of reggae pizzicato vibe in the production of that song. It was awesome. So I loved it, and I thought that was one of my favorite songs. That has been one of my favorite songs since I first heard it in like the 90s, I think, when I was at varsity. And it's just the melodies. Da 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 da. Just so unique. Of course, his voice is unique, but in particular, the way he uses his voice. So the way he sings, the way he uses that instrument is unique, and it's so familiar to so many millions of us who've been listening to it for decades. Um, but I just love that moment of connecting with him through that song. That was my moment, my first moment of connecting. And I'm going to talk about that as we go along, because the point is, this man at that age stands on that big stage in that big arena, and he really doesn't have to try. He doesn't try. He just stands there. He's very cool, and he's just a musician, and he plays that bass, and he sings that song, and he just looks up every now and again, and it just makes you. He makes you feel like he's singing to you, and that is the art of a great performer, in my opinion. It was so awesome. And then the next song that I quickly pluck my phone out for is this one. He said he said something like, yeah, so one day I bought a piece of land outside of, I can't remember which part of the UK, and I built myself a little house. Actually, it was a castle. It was so funny. And then he talked about the barley that grows in that area. And then when he said that, everybody started to scream, because of course that was going to be Fields of Gold. You will forget the sun in his jealous sky as we walk. So she took her love, for she gazed on the fields of in his arms she fell as her hair came down on the fields. Do you stay with me? Do you need my love upon the fields of forget the sun in his jealous sky as we lie. What a stunning song. Why is it so stunning? Again, the melody is very specific and unique. Na 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 na. Two phrases that start the same but end with a different pitch. Upon the fields of barley. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. So simple. Almost like a folk melody type vibes. And then the groove. And I know how characteristic the sort of harmonica is in so many of his incredible songs from over the years. But I didn't realize it as much until last night when I saw this guy play that instrument so skillfully in so many of the songs. And it just adds. It's not just there for the sake of having an harmonica. You know, it's very intentional and it's very deliberate, and it's very, very, very good the way he does it. So I absolutely loved Fields of Gold. This song is very emotional to me. Also, the lyric, what the song talks about, it's like a beautiful, beautiful love story, actually, or it's about a loved one, a romantic loved one. So, I think it's just so, so beautiful. Then the next song that he sang, well, he sang many songs. He performed for 2 hours non-stop at the age of 71 without losing this. So that means he has been singing correctly all throughout the night and all throughout the tour. He did 2 shows in Cape Town here in South Africa and 2 in Pretoria. And I don't know where he came from, where he's going, but I think he's on a bit of a world tour or something. I think he called it the My Songs tour because he re-recorded many of the classics and put out a new album. I got it as soon as I saw that it was there. It's very interesting. So anyway, you can't sing like that at that age, and for 2 hours, almost everything is very high in pitch, in a high male range, and he just sings it, and his voice doesn't go croaky or nothing, and he doesn't have to try too hard. It doesn't look like he's working so hard because he does it so well and so correctly. Beautiful, beautiful example. So yeah, when this song came, again, everybody almost lost it because, oh my gosh. What you say, every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching. Oh, can't you see, you're my arms to me. I'm a poor heart with every step you take, every move you make, every vow you break, every smile you fake, every claim you stake, I'll be watching. Since you gone, I've been lost without a trace. I live at night, I can always see your face. I look around, but it's you I can't replace. I feel so cold, I long for your embrace. I keep crying, baby, He lost it a bit there on the A, and then he just modified it, just changed the melody. Such skill, such experience. But I want to talk about this song very quickly in terms of the way it's written. When we teach songwriting in the 21st century, often people want to stay away from rhyming words because I think it's cheesy or it's silly, and it belongs to a bygone era of songwriting. But you probably know the song well if you clicked on a Sting video, but just listen to this. It's fully rhyming all the way. Straight rhyme, end words. Every breath you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you. Ache, 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 ache sounds all the way. But not just for the sake, not just for the sake of rhyming, of course. The lyrics are very intentional. Then, next verse, every single day and every word you say, every game you play and every night you stay, I'll be watching you. It is incredible lyrics, in my opinion. It is so well written. And then the sort of the chorus, oh, can't you see you belong to me? Again, see and me. How my poor heart aches with every step you take, ache and take. Again, right? Then the next verse. Every move you make and every vow you break. That's a powerful line just there. Every smile you fake, every claim you stake. I'll be watching you. Yeah. So anyway, it's just brilliant how this song seems so conventional in terms of songwriting. It's not super clever, big words, what, and it's got all this end rhyme pattern, but it is fantastically written. It makes you listen. It makes you think. you get it. You get the story of the song straight away if you listen to the words. So that was just so cool to hear that. And then moving along, the next one was a song called 7 Days. If you're a fan, you'll know it. The very super cool thing about the song, there are many things cool about it, but the super cool thing for me as a musician is the 5-time. Now, the human brain perceives patterns of rhythm and beats easily and naturally in groups of 2, 4, 6, 8 or 12, 16, yes, see. 2, 4, 8 or 16, multiples of 2. It was a long night, okay? I came home very late from Sting's concert. But anyway, that's very natural. So most contemporary music, Danny is losing it. Most contemporary songs work in 4, like this one. Every move you make, every breath you take, whatever. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Ba ba da 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 da. I'll be watching you. 1, 2. So it's very common. 4 beats in a bar, but 5 or 7 or like uneven numbers like that, it's not as logical and natural for our brain to analyze and to get. So skilled musicians love playing in 5 and 7 and 9 and 11 or even, which is crazy. Funny thing, I was just telling Danny, who's my production guy, just telling him that I wrote a song once for a musical that we did in Australia in a 5-time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What did you come to see? What did you come to find? Who do you want to be here? What is your state of mind? It's very emotive, just by virtue of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. It's 2 and 3, or 3 and 2. Depends how you structure the music. So just listen to a short bit of this and see if you can count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's amazing.
I still buy a mouse on man. The mirror I sweep the way around. He'll murder. Time for his teeth. What does it bother me at all? My right arm is the Neanderthal. It makes me think. Perhaps I need a drink. IQ is not an issue. You won't be paying trouble for a hand out to you. I need that real. Hey! Monday, I could wait till Tuesday. If
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thursday's on my mind. Friday give me time. Saturday could wait. Sunday be too late.
Incredible. And I also saw last night very clearly that all the musicians on the stage with him just seem like brilliant musicians. And you would hope so, right? If you are somebody who has been up there in terms of standard and quality and stardom and influence and effect on people's lives and on the music industry, like Sting, you would hope that he would find world-class musicians to play with him. But the thing that I noted, firstly, of course, they were very skilled, but that's to be expected. But what I definitely also noticed is that it seemed like all of them loved performing. They loved being there. And you and I have both seen shows where you can see they go through the motions. And it's hard touring. I'm not criticizing them, but sometimes you can see they follow the plan, they do the set list, and they do it well. But yeah, there can be a slight disconnect. But these guys last night, and it's not many musicians. There's a guy on keys, there are two backing singers, one male, one female vocal. There's the guy on the harmonica, the drummer, who is just also next level, and then that brilliant guitarist, which has been with Sting for all these years, and then the bass player, who's also the lead singer. That's it. And it's just brilliant how they enjoy, and you can just see they love every moment of performing. It was really, really beautiful to see. But how skillful to play. And did you hear the bass line, that as the bass walks around in that 5 time, the rhythm of that in the beat of the 5, and then the rhythm in his melody, which runs over the bar lines and stuff. It's insane. He makes it look so simple. Of course, he's been doing this song for many years, but it doesn't matter. The point is, he's so skilled, so skilled to be able to do that so effortless, seemingly effortlessly. It's just blows my mind. So I absolutely love that. I was pretty silent for the biggest part of the show, except when I sang along, because I was just sitting there observing, taking in. Whenever there's a close-up on somebody's hands on an instrument or something, I just was taking it in, and just these people's absolutely incredible skill, and the ensemble between them, how tight they are, and how every instrument, literally every instrument, gets places to shine in the songs, but in appropriate places. It's just absolutely loved it. And then the last song. So he finished with a bang. I can't remember what song. And then he said, "Goodbye, we love you." And they left the stage. And of course we stood and we screamed and we jumped. And then they came back and he said, "The problem is I don't know what you want to hear." No, actually, wait. Yeah, it was then. Sorry, I just had to think of it. And then everybody screamed, "Roxanne!" because he left that out. On purpose, of course. And then they did Roxanne, which is the tessatura of that song, the vocal line. Tessatura, Italian word that means, roughly, it means the place, the pitch range where most of the melody is written. So some notes are lower or slightly higher maybe, but most of it sits there. The tessatura in this song is so high. And he was like, "Roxanne," and he touched his throat like this, saying, "Come on, have mercy on my throat." But he pulled it off, of course. And then they took his bass and they brought an acoustic, a nylon string. And he sat down and he played this song. This really got me.
Blood will flow, fresh and sweet water, drying in the cold of the evening sun. Tomorrow's rain, the wash that stays away. Something in our mind will always stay. Perhaps this final act was meant to clinch our lifetime's argument. Nothing comes from violence, and nothing ever could. For all those born beneath an angry star, lest we forget how fragile we are.
Oh my gosh, on and on the rain will fall like tears from a star. Oh my gosh. So finally, before I say goodbye to you, I was thinking, what makes a living legend? And I think you can have long, beautiful discussions over many nights with good wine and a fireplace in the cold about topics like this, right? But for me, it boils down to 2 things. Number 1, be authentic. If you are not authentic, if you are not real and true to yourself as a creative person, as a performer, as a songwriter, as a musician, then you won't have longevity. People get bored of fake really quickly. I know I go on about it on my channel, but it's just the time that we live in just makes it so much more obvious. All the fakery that's going on. People who think they have to be and behave in a certain way to be accepted or whatever, instead of being true to themselves. So I believe that's one very crucial thing, authenticity. And I mean, I don't know him personally, obviously, so I don't know the struggles he's been through. He definitely has. Every human on earth has. But in some way, he just remained the same Gordon Sumner, the same Sting that he always seemed to be. How he presents himself to the world, how he communicates about music and about the things that he strongly believes in, and etc. It's always been consistent because it's always been real to him. And then the second thing that I think is important, if you want to have a long career and if you want to become a living legend like this guy, I mean, let's be real, there's not many. There won't be many who become, Beatles, Queen, Elvis, Sting, whatever, who have careers. Not all of them had long careers like Elvis, but I mean, careers of 30, 40 years, sometimes 50 years. The other thing is, you have to adapt. You have to grow. You cannot sit on the success of the last hit song. And I've heard many interviews by superstars. Coldplay, Chris Martin, same thing. Many of them. You can't have a hit record and a world tour that's sold out and then go, this is now who I am. You have to keep evolving. Because you change as a person as you grow older, as you live more life. You evolve, you change. The way you see things changes. You develop new sensibilities and different ways of looking at things. You have a greater life experience to draw on. More things happen to you that gives you a frame of reference, etc. So, be authentic, but be ever evolving. Otherwise, I mean, he's singing songs now that are 30, 35 years old that people still sing along to. But he's also evolved. He's produced so many other things as well in the meantime for the true fans, Be authentic, but always be open to change and to grow. I think it's more about growing than evolving, because if you grow, you will evolve, right? But anyway, thanks for sharing this special moment with me, where I can just talk about somebody whom I really, really admire, somebody who inspires me as a musician. I was saying interviews, with songwriters and big bands like I said, Chris Martin, Coldplay, and many others, about how the moment the hit song is out, yes, there's the tour or whatever, tour the album, sing the hit songs, but immediately start going, where can we go next? To still be authentically us, but do something new, do something adventurous, expand ourselves. And people who do that, if they keep making the right choices, not just for their career, but also in life, in terms of drugs and alcohol and the kind of life they live, let's be real, kind of things they say on social media, etc., then they can have a long career and have the privilege and the joy of blessing many more millions of people with their music into their 70s, like this man is doing. So that's it from me for today. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and why don't you subscribe if you haven't already? I'd really appreciate it. And until I speak to you again, please take care of yourself.